It's the NFL on EA Sports, and there's no love lost between these NFC North foes. It's the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. All that and more coming up next.
Well, later tonight in November, snowfall is forecasted to hit the Twin Cities, but right now, calm outside, and of course, a calm day inside U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis, thrilled to be with you from the broadcast booth. And partner, before we get this thing started, what are you going to be watching?
Who gets off to a fast start? In horse racing terms, they talk about catching a flyer out of the gate. Who sets the pace and makes the other team chase?
Now the kicker, Brandon McManus, about ready to get us started. And we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. As we take a peek at Sam Darnold, the former USC Trojan and third pick in the 2018 draft.
And the thing with Sam Darnold is we know the skill set is there. May not be the most mobile or strongest arm quarterback in the league, but usually plays with really good poise and at his best, like a point guard in basketball, able to move around and distribute the rock.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold rolling to his right. And right away, he lost the football. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. Well, obviously, you never want to fumble, but if you do, good to be towards the sideline. Saves them the possession.
Saves the embarrassment, saves it going down on the play sheet as a turnover. But I still think it should go to the defense, even if they don't recover it. If you give up the football, you gave up the football.
Agree to disagree, I guess.
Can you tell what I played?
Yeah, you played defense. Yeah. I'll let you go.
I took a shot.
And Hockenson going to have the Vikings first down as he's up to the 47.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
On a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
2 yards to go, second down. They'll go again to Jones. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. This will be a loss of 3 and now a much tougher third down looming.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to see?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Lucas Van Ness getting free there to bring him down. Was certainly not an ideal first quarter for him. Remember, he lost the fumble earlier, and here he ends up on the ground with a sack.
And sometimes what happens when you make a mistake early, you get too cautious going forward. Just cover up the football and take care of it and be able to cut it loose. Otherwise, your offense is going to stall.
So on fourth down, Ryan Wright on to punt for Minnesota. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. 6'4" Jordan Love taking the field for the first time. The 2020 first-round pick from Utah State set to lead Green Bay.
And at the start of Jordan Love's NFL career, he had one of the best seats in the stadium watching Aaron Rodgers work. But now he's looking for more than that. Rocket arm, big play potential, and he wants to show this organization that he's capable of being a dependable starter for the foreseeable future.
Love going to break the huddle, lead the Packers up here 1st and 10 at their own 16. First carry for Josh Jacobs. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
2nd and 7. Throwing. Love. That'll be caught right side by Reed. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. 7 yards there and a first down. Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
2nd down, Jacobs once more. And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. To throw now, here's Love. And Love is going to slide down and pick up the first. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain.
Certainly not a positive sign if you're the D coordinator and you see your guys give up that space so early in the game. 3rd down, that's when the clamps are supposed to come out, but his ability to create things with his legs makes things difficult.
2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Switching things up, they'll throw it now with Jordan Love. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Jonathan Greenard running in to pick up the sack. Well, we've seen how this quarterback can beat you with his legs. Saw it earlier on this drive, as a matter of fact. But that time, they had him covered.
They really gave him no place to escape because oftentimes they're able to find a crack, a sliver, anything that can get them upfield. On that occasion, nothing open at all, and they swarmed him.
Here's a handoff to Jacobs running left. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. A sizable gain there, 9 yards as they get it back to a 3rd and 5.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they could...
Oh, what a read on the outside as it's intercepted. Picked off by Byron Murphy. And the Vikings are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. The Vikings taking the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. They'll start in excellent field position following the INT. Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10 at their own 42. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Well, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
From just shy of midfield, here's 2nd and 2. Again, it's Jones. And he stopped immediately there. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. The good run on 1st down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. Yeah, this is not going to be enough. Was in search of 2 yards and only got halfway there.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Ryan Wright. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. And Packers offense here coming back out for their 2nd drive. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And from the 15, they're able to work this up to the 20 for a pickup of a handful.
And I think as he began this throw, you saw that the area was congested, but he has a lot of confidence in his arm, and he fits that one in there nicely. They pick up the catch. Not much yardage afterwards.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. Play fake. Here's Love. He'll get this underneath to Jacobs, and they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the 1st down, and that's exactly what he did.
Love, they go play action now. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Jonathan Bullard able to get in there and drop him behind the line.
Chalk that one up to bad acting, I guess, because they certainly failed to sell the handoff, and the pressure stayed keyed in on the quarterback. No Oscar awards for this offense, just a loss of yardage.
Love. This completes to the tight end, Tucker Kraft. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 39 yards there, a big one.
Let's just call it as we just saw it right there, a breakdown defensively. Seems like no one went with the tight end, and no one really did. Had all sorts of space in the middle of the field. Yeah, everyone else was covered, but he was not. Big play results.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 34. They will run out of the gun with Jacobs, and he'll go down at the 28. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Ball on the 28-yard line. Here's 2nd and 4. On play action. Love to throw. That's to the tight end, Musgrave. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a 1st down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
To pass, here's Jordan Love. That's to Kraft, the tight end. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Tucker Kraft, 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Packers are on the board first here this afternoon.
Well, we know someone just added to his touchdown passing total, but all he did was get the ball out quickly to his tight end and let him take care of business the rest of the way.
On here, Brandon McManus for the point after. And it's good to make it 7-0 Packers. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it ends with a Packers touchdown. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Play action. It's Darnold. They'll roll him out right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Rashawn Gary just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
Well, on that one, they go with a play fake, CD, but I don't think anybody really was fooled. All eyes were fixated on the quarterback, and they got him to the ground.
And to run this play successfully, you've got to make sure that everyone is doing their part. You actually have to sell this play. You've got to sell the run action. Otherwise, why do you stop at the running back? You just run straight for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
An inside give to Jones. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a third down and long.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. So the completion gets them just a yard, and it'll be fourth down.
Well, that's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
Now here's Ryan Wright now.
As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day. This is taken at the 18. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out first and 10. Here's Love.
Now this aired out deep for Reed.
And that's caught inside the 30.
So they will wave off the flag and let the completion stand.
Really great job by the receiver fighting through all the contact and still coming down with the football. All that great work in practice being put into the game.
Here's Jacobs from the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Second down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now Love. Over the middle here, it's hauled in by Watson. And he's going to have a gain of 11 to the 11 before he's brought down. 1st and 10.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Love looking to throw it. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that'll make it 2nd down. Love now. The connection with his running back, Josh Jacobs.
No gain on the play. And this will wind up being a 3rd and 3.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
They'll come up now, 3rd and 3. To the air again, Love.
Dancing to his left. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay.
Jordan Love
Taking it in from 4 yards out.
And the Packers have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead.
He hit him earlier in this first quarter with his arm. Now he does it with his legs.
Right now, he's one of those stat stuffers that you see on the basketball court. You know, the guy with points, rebounds, assists, steals. One with the arm, one with the legs. Let's see if he can continue this pace.
And sending out the reminder that, yeah, look, I'm known for having an arm, but I can do it with the legs on occasion when I need to. Extra point from McManus is good. And that'll make the score 14-0. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
Oh, a good return up past the 30. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again.
They find themselves in a good-size hole here, and a good-size hole early on in this game as they come up on first down.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the right.
A play fake, and it's Darnold.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Seems like all the fireworks in this first quarter have been on the other sideline, but here they're saying, hey, we've got some explosive guys on our side too. And that's a big play in a game that's looking like it might be full of big plays.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10. Down at the 33. And they'll send the slot in motion left.
He'll get it here on the jet sweep.
And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
So from the 26-yard line, here's a 2nd down and 4.
Up the middle, Jones. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 7 yards there and a first down. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
We knew both of these safeties were good in run support, but how about the play we just saw there? How about that closing speed? Able to get to the outside part of the field and turn that play into a loss.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. From the shotgun, a give to Jones. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
$14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football. And this offense on 3rd down today, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 6. He's got his tight end over the middle, T.J. Hockenson. And the Vikings are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence. And that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Now Jones. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
This is a critical sequence here for this offense. Things really haven't gone their way so far. This could be their chance to get back into it, but they've got to find a way to punch this ball in.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. A shotgun snap for Darnold. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Sam Darnold taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Vikings have got it back to within a score.
Hey, you're down on the scoreboard, but now your offense is in close, and this is where, as a quarterback, you say, I've got to make a play here. Doesn't matter whether it's a pinpoint throw or a scramble like this one. He takes matters into his own hands and delivers a touchdown run.
Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And that one makes it 14-7. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Green Bay offense ready to take over. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while, get at least 2 first downs, give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Here's a 2nd and 9 now from the 29.
Back to throw. Love. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. They'll send the tight end in motion left. Out of the shotgun, it's Love. Flush to his right. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a halt. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
Nice call on defense, rolling out the nickel package for that big 3rd down play, and they did an excellent job locking down coverage and forcing him to try and run for it, and he doesn't get there, which brings up a big 4th down call.
On 4th down, the Packers call on Daniel Whelan to punt. Brandon Powell deep for Minnesota.
And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback.
Minnesota's offense takes over possession.
And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn it into a play action, and throw one deep.
Addison will go in motion left.
Off of play action, Darnold.
Right side, it's the tight end, Hockenson.
And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple. Faking the give, Darnold.
Throw to the right, hauled in by Addison.
And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49.
That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
Now a 1st down carry by Jones. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
Well, there's an example of patience being rewarded. Ran the ball on 1st down and got stuffed. Most people would scream, throw the ball here. In this situation, they stayed with their roots, stayed with running the football, and they got rewarded.
On 3rd down, here's Jones. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage.
56 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4 down territory if they didn't pick it up, but
yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
In motion right is Addison. And now a fake on the jet sweep and a give to Jones.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
From the 31, here's a 2nd and 4.
And they'll try the air now with Darnold. Going underneath, he's got Hockenson. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. So that'll be no better than an incompletion. And now we've got a 3rd and 4.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. Here's Darnold. Setting up the screen here, Aaron Jones. And oh, he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Now the Vikings will send out the special teams crew here for a field goal try. This from 44 yards out, left hash. And this one is right through. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D.
And a nice return sets them up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
And now the Packers get set to go.
Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. Loving the Packers now with a 1st and 10
right at the 30. In motion goes the tight end.
He'll give it to Jacobs to start the drive.
And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Nice satisfying run on 1st down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we've got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
2nd down, Jacobs once more.
And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
The offense on 3rd down, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Throwing, Love.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. He's up to 70 yards now in this first half receiving as he's got a 1st down. 3rd and 4, he did just enough, and I mean just enough to move the chains.
And that's all you're looking for, right? Just want to keep the drive moving. You don't need the big play there. Just get to that marker that you described, and he was able to do just that.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And they regroup defensively after the broken tackle, getting to him just beyond the 45. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Able to find his man, Kraft.
And he'll be down at the 46. So they go from 146 to the other on a pickup of 8.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
A yard all they need, but it's 3rd down.
Trying to run for it with Jacobs.
Oh, and that one well designed as he'll take this down to the 30-yard line. 47 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. To throw now. Here's Love. That's going to be caught. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay.
Jaden Reed.
30 yards as his guys are able to extend their lead.
A nice connection there, finding his target, and that'll put 6 up on the board.
Just like they drew it up in their playbook and reiterated it on the sidelines, right? Perfect route, a good throw, and the defense, They had no answers for that right there.
McManus now for the extra point. It's good, and it's 21-10. So that drives 7 plays in length. And the result, a Green Bay score. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. And now out comes Minnesota. They'll look to make some inroads here, trailing 21-10 as they come up on a 1st and 10. They'll send a receiver here in motion right.
And they're going to give it to him on the jet sweep. And that is not fooling anyone. He never had a chance to turn the corner there, and they'll go backwards right away. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive.
3rd and 8.
Now Darnold.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Quay Walker.
And into the end zone. It's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown.
But Charles, he was looking for just a short throw, kept it in range for the rare linebacker pick 6.
And give him full credit for his focus. He just kept the quarterback in his sights, and where he was looking to throw, he positioned himself perfectly to be there for the interception. He made the play of the game for his defense right there.
Now McManus for the extra point. And the lead is up to 18 now. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Vikings ready to go again on offense. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
And sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
It's Lucas Van Ness there to drop him behind the line.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Now it's Darnold.
This one swung out here to Jones.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
Open man is Jalen Naylor.
And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. 10 more there and another first down.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
The give is to Jones, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Here's Jones again on 2nd down.
And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
This offense so far on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Here's Darnold. That is caught. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 28. A big 3rd down pickup of 20 yards.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
Off the option, it's Jones.
And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
2nd and 9.
They'll go again to Jones. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
When a drive goes this long, you have to give a lot of credit to the guys up front, those big fellas, because the offensive line is putting something together that allows them to continue to control the ball. And I know a lot of people think they get fatigued on a long drive. Actually, a lot of times the reverse happens. They actually get energized because they're controlling the ball, and they're the ones dictating to the defense.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Vikings first down. They needed 5 there on 3rd down. He winds up getting 7.
But with the score where it is, you're not thinking field goals right now. You need touchdowns. So that was a much-needed conversion there on 3rd down.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
Running right, Jones. And he'll take this one down near the 15.
Now 2nd and 9.
Darnold now to throw.
Pass complete to Addison.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. Back to throw, Darnold.
And that is incomplete.
But the pressure there on third down, forcing the errant pass. Fourth down coming up.
Well, it's been a tough go for them. These guys have been driving down the field, but defensively, once they got their backs to the goal line, turned up the pressure, that's going to lead to a fourth down. Well played.
The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. They'll go with Jones. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. To throw is Darnold. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal. Darnold being chased out left. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Through a couple of plays, this Green Bay defense is held strong. Now it's 3rd and goal. They'll look to throw here. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Jalen Naylor, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Vikings get a late score here in the final minute of the first half.
Well, that touchdown certainly helps, but they've got to go ahead and convert, get to the half, and figure out how to keep chopping down this lead in the second, don't they?
Yeah, they still need to regroup, and they still need to end the second quarter strong. A little bit of time left. Point after try forthcoming. And that one makes this an 11-point deficit now. And what a drive that was. 16 plays all told. And it's polished off by a Viking score. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Packers offense and quarterback Jordan Love heading back out onto the field. And he's done everything you could have asked for coming in. He's spread it around. He hasn't taken many chances. And he's potentially on his way to a big game throwing the football. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room. Short throw, he's got Kraft. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Final play of the half, Love. Pass caught, it's Romeo Doubs. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. So we've come to halftime here with the visiting Packers out on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
We saw a couple of high-octane offenses getting it done in the first half. Both teams had no problems moving the football. And you'd have to think, the team whose defense shows up in the second half is going to be the one who walks out of here with a victory.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the third quarter. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Packers offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better, and I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
And they'll send the tight end in motion. Now Love. Short throw. He's got Kraft. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Counter play with Jacobs. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. Ball right on the 50-yard line. Here's a 2nd and 7. They go bootleg. Love. And this is caught at the 20. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 33 yards that time.
Another big play right there, and this is where, as an offense, you can really put the hammer down. You've got a double-digit lead, but those other guys, they've been hanging around. A touchdown here could put this game out of reach, and that's a strong step towards getting it done.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Love looking to throw it. Over the middle, complete. That's Reed. And the Packers are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago, followed it up with another nice one here, and before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
Love. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Jaden Reed, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Packers take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
McManus's point after is good. And the lead is up to 18 now. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Vikings offense and Aaron Jones headed back onto the field. And you have to imagine this defense saying, how do we stop this guy? He has run roughshod through him to this point in the third quarter. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half. Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
And this is incomplete.
Well, if you're going to give out a little applause on that play, it has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the first row.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. He'll look to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
A give to Jones. And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line. 88 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
We often give credit to the O-line. There, 2 tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, and that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Darnold from the gun. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to third down.
When you run in the slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. They're going to look to throw.
Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
Tight defense there on 3rd down, but what a product of good coaching and even better execution because he realized he's in field goal range, no sense forcing anything, and he made sure he didn't.
And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe, and that'll get the deficit down to 15.
So that maybe not exactly what they were hoping for, but it does get them back within a couple of scores.
And at this point in the third quarter, you don't have much margin for error, and that means you can't have drives that end with nothing. Whether it's a punt, a turnover on downs, those have to go away. You have to end with a kick, either a field goal or an extra point after a touchdown.
Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away.
And able to get this out to the 25. Another drive coming up for this Packers offense. And as we look back at how we got here, you'll notice a common theme in these highlights. A lot of yardage through the air. The passing game has been sharp right from the outset.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
Jacobs going to try the middle to about the 48-yard line.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Here's 2nd and 7. In motion, the tight end. To pass, here's Jordan Love. Short throw, he's got Kraft. That catch puts him right at 100 yards receiving now, and it also gives him a first down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Running straight ahead is Jacobs, and nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Love now. Over the middle here, it's hauled in by Watson. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 14. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Here's Love. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Reed. And the Packers are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
Throwing. Love. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. It's a loss of 5 there on the sack to bring up 2nd and goal.
Well, if you're going to throw the ball on 1st and goal from the 2, the worst thing that should result is an incompletion for you offensively. But, Brandon, this is a different type of football. Back in my day, 1st and goal from the 2, a lot of big people with big neck rolls, they were on the field trying to ram it into the end zone.
On 2nd and goal, Love. And it's a Packers touchdown. Jaden Reed, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Packers take a 3-touchdown lead. Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game.
Now McManus to tack on the extra point. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. So an 8-play drive covering 80 yards. And it ends with a Packers touchdown. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
And out now come the Vikings.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Here's Darnold. He's got his tight end over the middle, T.J. Hockenson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
And this is what they're going to need more of. It's the third quarter. You're trailing. You've got to come out with a renewed sense of purpose. And that's a nice way to kick off the drive with good yardage and a first down.
From the 50, it's Darnold. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. So it goes as a completed pass, but they lose a full 5 yards.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that brings up third and a full 10 yards.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their route.
Under pressure now, Darnold, and he goes down. Devontae Wyatt drops him for a loss of 14 yards, and it also brings up fourth down.
Looks like another empty possession here, partner, and I don't think with 3 scores down in the third quarter, they can truly afford any more the rest of the way.
No, especially the way their offense is sputtering. I think you're exactly right. They got to find some answers quickly. And here's Ryan Wright now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback.
The visitors' offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. They're just looking to do more of the same. They were good in the first half. They've extended their lead so far here in the second half. I don't know, they're just looking good hitting on all cylinders right now.
And sometimes that means a head coach who really has a finger on the pulse of a team may not have anything to say at all. May tell the rest of the coaches,
up a little bit.
Just back it off a little bit. This team has it under control. I remember hearing about Bob Knight years ago in basketball, getting ready to give the final speech before the gold medal game in '84. And on the board, Michael Jordan.
There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Packers.
Romeo Doubs, 70 yards. And the Packers get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead.
And he showcased his blazing speed on that one.
Was he wearing football cleats or track spikes? Because he was gone. Big-time play. And just think about what that does if you're a receiver on the team with him. Well, that's got to open things up for you as well, because if I'm a defense, I've got to get back deeper and deeper in order to keep him in front. But I'm not sure how many can actually keep him in front with that speed.
Extra point from McManus is good, and that'll push the lead up to 29 now. The quick strike ability certainly intact there. 2 plays, 80 yards to score it. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field.
And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Now a handoff. Running left is Jones. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a third and about 3 to go.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
From the gun on third down, here's Darnold.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on third down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a first down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
Completes it to the fullback, Ham.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
Second down and 8.
Now it's Darnold. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
Looked like both sides were anticipating a quick throw there, and the defense was ready to jump in and deny it, and they did.
And now on third down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. Again, Darnold. Going underneath, he's got Hockenson. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. And that's good for a gain of 6. And that'll bring up fourth down.
Looked like the screen pass was taken away there, but what a nice job improvising, finding other options, and completing the pass anyway.
So now on comes the field goal unit. And wow, this is no ordinary try here. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And this one is no good. He missed it. And they will remain well behind.
Yeah, 55 yards is anything but a gimme. You've got to really concentrate on your leg swing and proper technique. This time, though, he's unable to convert.
The visitors' offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him, and he'll look to keep it rolling right here.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They have picked up right where they left off in half number 1, just looking really dominant, extending this lead.
And it's fun to see when teams actually do that, because so many times you go into the half after playing well, and you kind of relax a little bit. We've got this. We can kind of punch the button whenever we get good and ready. But for a team to keep the intensity and keep the execution up and come back after the half and play so well, that's actually really, really nice to see.
And a pedal to the metal. That's what we're seeing right now.
Out of the shotgun, it's Love. Able to find his man, Kraft.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. To throw now. Here's Love. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. These two have hooked up 9 times now this afternoon as they pick up the first.
Now that's absolutely frustrating for a defender. Had a chance to get him on the ground before he got to the sideline, but what great vision and understanding where he is on the field as he headed for the marker and picked up the first down.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Glad to have you with us from Minneapolis. 3rd quarter here, 2nd and 10. They will throw again here with Jordan Love. That'll be caught right side by Reed. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Love, they go play action now. And this is going to be incomplete.
I had to do a double take on that one, Brandon, because so far in this game, we haven't seen many of his passes fall incomplete.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This from 54 yards away. And that is no good. But that shouldn't matter a great deal as they still lead by a bundle here. Now listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their backgrounds. They were all county, all state, at other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. In motion right is Addison. Now a fake on the jet sweep, and they'll instead run up the middle. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 93 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
2nd down, another shot for Jones. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes just a matter of philosophy. Some say run it until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
Here's Darnold. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
Now here's Ryan Wright now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. They had the double-digit lead at halftime, and they have continued to roll. They're hard to stop right now.
I think what we're seeing is an example of a team that has it figured out in this ball game. And whatever the adjustments are the defense has made hasn't slowed them, hasn't phased them at all. They either anticipated them or they've been so far ahead that they just can't catch up.
Now it's just a search to add to the lead. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Here's a handoff to Jacobs. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
A gain of 3, second down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
On third down, here comes Jacobs. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to fourth down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
And on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away.
Minnesota's offense takes over possession. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnelled. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
This one caught. It's the tight end, Hawkinson. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. It's a gain of 34. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the fourth, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
That'll go for a gain of 7, and it's second down. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. That's to Naylor once again. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. Up the middle, Jones. And a short gain here, down to the 22. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
That was a really nice play, be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain.
Here's Jones again on second down.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes if you've got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. They'll send a receiver in motion to the left.
He's going to get it on the jet sweep. Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away.
He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
They tried to catch him by surprise there on 3rd down, but this defense, they were all over the jet sweep.
And it's oftentimes all about what you're doing on the backside of the defense, whether it's the defensive end or the outside backer, who's setting the edge. And if they don't get blown off the line of scrimmage, they can really wreck a play. And in this case, they were able to make the tackle for a loss as a result.
And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander.
And the Packers are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
Well, I get it, Charles. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Down big. They just sent their receivers out, let it fly. But the defense, they were ready.
Yeah, and there aren't too many people left in this stadium that couldn't see that coming. But that's not a major criticism at all because you had to try it. What you're hoping for is one of your athletes out-athletes everyone else. It makes a dramatic play.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field.
And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable 4th quarter lead. Love going to break the huddle, lead the Packers up here 1st and 10
at their own 20-yard line. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8.
Once again, it's Jacobs.
And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Now Love. He's going to launch this deep for Watson.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown, Packers.
Christian Watson.
74 yards.
And the Packers start to open this lead even wider here in the 4th. So add another one into the touchdown column. What a game. That is now 6 touchdown passes for him so far in this one.
McManus now for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So the drive there, they went 80 yards in 3 plays.
And it was all capped off by a touchdown catch from Christian Watson.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Vikings offense and Sam Darnold headed back out there. And it's been a struggle for him all afternoon. This defense has really done a nice job of making him earn everything he gets. And it's prevented him from getting into any kind of rhythm here today.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
Not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play, everything was working pretty well for this offense, gaining chunks of yardage, getting first downs, really making a push for the end zone, and looked like they had a nice rhythm going. Now you got to have a short memory here. Don't focus on the interception. Focus on what came before it and get back to it.
Now Darnold. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. Well, a nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down.
This is certainly a team that has proven it likes to target its backs through the air, and defensively, they were aware of that and certainly were prepared on that throw.
An incomplete pass on second down leads us to 3rd and inches. A shotgun snap for Darnold. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Well, I mean, look, obviously there's no 20 or 30-point play in that playbook, but they can try to end things here on a positive note despite trailing big, and that looks like what they're trying to do here by pushing the ball downfield.
Well, let me go with the heavy cliche then, partner. Just control what you can control right now, and all they can control here is how their final plays develop.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. From the 42 now, here's 2nd and 2. To throw is Darnold. Going underneath, he's got Hockenson. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Throwing again is Darnold. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
And here's Ryan Wright now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. So now out comes this offense led by their quarterback as they take over once more. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been that successful. He just processes things so quickly and makes a right read seemingly every time. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. You just kind of feel for the defense right now, this deficit. They have not been able to stop them. And the ball comes out. Love lost it. Oh, and one of the linebackers has got it. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. He had the option there, decided to keep it, exposed himself and fumbled it.
Yeah, and you worry about the hits he's going to take in that situation. In this case, not only does he take the hit, he coughs the ball up, as you noted.
Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. They were forced to punt last time. Now I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Big Kenny Clark that time pushing upfield to make the tackle for loss.
Sometimes I think these defensive tackles get a little bit of a bum rap. We just see them as big guys that eat up blockers for others to make tackles. Oftentimes they're quicker than they get credit for. And this time he uses quickness to make a play.
In motion right is Addison. He'll get it here on the jet sweep. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
Well, they gave up a few yards there, but all in all, I think it's a pretty nice job defensively against the jet sweep. If they don't slow him up, he might take it to the house, so they'll take that play every time on the defensive side of the ball.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. An inside give to Jones. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
Now the Vikings will send out the special teams crew here for a field goal try. Right hash mark of 42-yard attempt. And his kick is indeed good, and they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. This offense headed back out, captained, of course, by their quarterback. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes, and he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out when the game's in hand? They just kind of give us that look like that's what he's paid to do. So it's a very unusual situation. I'd want him out. They tend to leave him in.
Now a 2nd and 2. Love looking to throw it. He'll go over the middle to Reed, complete. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
On the handoff, this is Jacobs. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
Coming up on the final 2.5 minutes, and boy, has it been fun to watch this offense operate. Quite the display, and now they look to polish it off. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the first. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down. On now is the Packers punter, as he's on here to punt it away. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is in the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, and with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
He'll drop this underneath for Jones. And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
Now, fourth quarter, certainly not enough time for a comeback, but nice to see them making use of the time remaining to try and make this one a little more respectable.
Yeah, I think the ultimate goal, good execution, be crisp, be sharp, and find a way to put some points on the board to make this thing look just a little bit better. And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
Here's a 2nd and 5.
Darnold. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Rashawn Gary able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Nightmare of a game continues for this quarterback, brought down with the game already decided. This sack adds insult to injury for him. Multiple turnovers, down by multiple touchdowns, now dumped early in a drive in the final quarter.
One last throw now for Darnold. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go at each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. From Minneapolis, so long, everybody.